Nice chilly Sunday morning. 43 degrees. Really heavy dew. How well you can see it on that auger, but it's pretty well soaked. So is that one. Even the sides of that bin are soaked. And I don't know what I just did. Something in my eye. And I got my helper. And yes, all healers I've ever had have done that. If the leash is in their mouth, they will follow. And they are pretty good. If it's not in their mouth, they'll fight it. Traveler's not quite in yet. I'm going to say another hour or two, which should be about right because we didn't get it going too early yesterday. Obviously, the cows are still out there. And he's being such a good boy. He comes right around and sits in front of me, but he's wrapped the leash around me. Huh, Bandit. Bandit. Who's a good boy, huh? For the most part. He is definitely at that imp stage. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen yet today. Becky wants me to get a couple things finished in the house. They need to get done, and things I tried to get done before Brother Ed got here. These guys need to get fed, so good morning, boys. It's up to 53 degrees finally. And Ty's here. She seems to be much better than she's been. Not that she's going to do a lot today. She's going to do some stuff in the house. Go through some things, clean up some things. And that's why her car's up here. She can load some stuff up that isn't going to stick around. And Becky and I are going to go get some 1x8s at Homeo Depot. Because in our room, we're going to put them across where the seam and the sheetrock is on the walls, on the concrete walls. And that'll give us a place to hang a couple lights and hide a cord. Something like that. Then Becky's going the wrong way, but that's okay. I'll go the right way in a minute. Well, this one's a little different than the one I've seen in the video. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like it had a chain coupler, and this has a Lovejoy type coupler. Don't see nothing wrong with it yet. And that guy also said that the gearbox was empty. Kind of looks like when I had it tipped up, it ran a little out. So I'm going to say maybe the gearbox is actually full. And that's what they used. Self-drillers, tappers. That's 8mm. Luckily I had an 8mm. And one, I don't know what the hell happened to the head now. They had 3 on the other side, only 1 on this side. And I figured it was broke off there. That's just a rust spot from nothing. And that's just a rust spot. And all it was, maybe it's still stuck on here. No, it did fall off. But I don't know where it went. All it was the head and the seal washer. There's no hole there. So, anyway, this bracket is actually gusseted, where the one I saw in the video didn't look like it had a gusset on it. Dang. Yeah, gotta love that stuff. So, I don't know how bad I really have to do something, but I think I'm going to anyway. Because if you look at it, this is actually leaned back. It's not lined up straight. So I'll probably address that. See what I can do there. And go from there. That's the plan anyway. And make sure those are tight just because. Kind of nice if it didn't have a dribbler up there, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know if it's, yeah, it's beefed up underneath in here because So they may have a plate that comes clear up here. I didn't pay attention. And there's that one. I mean, it didn't even try to go in. It was just stuck there by the seal. So, and Ty is supposed to be staining the boards. Couldn't get 12 footers. So we got 2 8s and 2 10s. I mean, they're going to make a splice on 2 walls. One wall I won't have to. Go figure. Dug through a lot of them before I found any that were actually straight. First one, beautiful looking board. It went like this. Well, if I was going around a corner. So anyway, like I said, figure out what I'm going to do here. I should probably pick it up and look again because it's got to be beefed up in that center section. It actually, no, maybe not. Standing here looking, it looks like this is lower than this, like there's maybe a plate in the top, but I doubt it. They wouldn't have done it that way. There'd be something underneath if there's anything. I do got to say one thing. I wasn't overly thrilled when we picked it up. These had the other halves of the couplers on them with open threads, but it was cleaned inside. So I've never dealt with the flat face ones before. Make adapters, and I'm hoping these will uncouple. They are actually off of the hay mower because we used to have a hell of a time getting them unhooked. So I hope I don't have trouble unhooking from here. Used to actually take a bar and get hooked on them to pop them out. That was without pressure on them. So we switched over to the ball type instead of these nubbins. They came with the nubbins. And see, I don't know why I never leaked or nothing. They just did not want to come out. There was times we'd take 2 bars and try to bust my face with them, like bars that size or bigger. So get this part figured out. See which one's got to go where. And then I'm going to unhook it and see what I got to do. It might be a matter of take those 2 bolts out, slip a shim under it, and tip that forward. I don't know yet. But obviously I want it to be a little better than it is. I don't know, maybe it'll be fine. Get back out here. Grabbed lunch and got stuck helping Becky with some things. Now I'm back. That is now full of oil. It wasn't full of oil. What was on the top was, I'm assuming, they got to fill the box and make sure everything's covered inside, and they probably just tipped it upside down to pour it out, and it was what was left. Just a little on top. Of course, I spilled. I shouldn't say I spilled. What I did was I filled through the top and had the side open to watch it, and we've got an old metered pump. I think it's a 2.5 gallon steel container with the pump lid on it. And I didn't have as much in there as I thought. Of course, it also depends on how full that is with bearings. So, yeah. I thought I had at least one more full pump before I'd have anything coming out the hole. So when it did it, then I had to go put some tape on the plug and put the plug back in. Then I did give it more. It's above the check hole. I'd rather have it a touch too full than a touch not full enough, because, it takes gear oil a minute to get down through all the bearings. I didn't wait. And I'm still wondering what to do there, if anything. I mean, I can see it possibly in the future cracking out around that if I don't do something. At the same time, if I'm going to do something, I'd rather not have it all welded together. I'd rather have it bolted in. And yeah, I ain't going to get in there to bolt on that. And I don't want to take it all apart either if I don't have to. So I'm to the point now where I need to make sure which direction it does turn here.
because there's absolutely nothing. And it does have the flat face couplers, one male, one female, but I've never been around them. They couple together nicely. So I don't know what to think about that. So I'm going to reach underneath and turn it the right direction and see what direction it goes here. And of course it doesn't really want to turn because the hydraulic motor doesn't want to. Actually, it'd be nice to have help, have somebody lay down there for me and turn it. Then I could watch it. And I'm going to take my Sharpie, my Milwaukee. Doesn't even say Milwaukee. Oh, there it says it. It's a good thing they got it stamped in it. I haven't used a Sharpie in years. And I'm going to mark rotation there. And when these are hooked up appropriately, all our couplers were marked. We use red paint for one side. And one of these is marked with red paint. So I will mark whichever one with red paint so it matches it. I just got to do it. And I'm thinking I'm going to get that part hooked up and see what we got going and go try it. If I think I need to do something with that, then I'll bring it back in and do that. If not, then I'll put the cover back on because I'd rather see the cover on that. I mean, covers are a pain in the ass, but really what they should have done was do a hinged cover. Which that might happen eventually too, because there's no reason that can't hinge on the backside. All you gotta do is flip it up to get to everything. It's right there. It doesn't take much to do that. It's just, another 10 minutes in the manufacturing process. Probably not even that, really. So, anyway, and I'm trying to find a piece of Lexan. I took the bottom piece off of this years ago. It went from here. We'll just zoom in. You can see the screw on the face. That was near the top. So basically from the bottom of that bolt down. And that's a pain in the ass because to service things, you got to take the floor pan out to get into grease stuff and adjust stuff. And just a pain in the ass. And clean it because, it gets all kinds of crap down there. And I don't even know where that piece is anymore. I took it off I've had the thing since 91. I took the thing off within the first year I had it. It used to be in the barn up at Becky's folks, but I think it got brought out here, and from there, I don't know where it is. It also gets in the way because the way we did the auxiliary. That's my auxiliary lever. And, my foot sticks out. Gets in my way. So if I have to make another one, I'll make it with a bump out because it's got clearance. Leave room for my foot. And I don't want to go as high. But at the same time, I do want the door to meet it. And, you can buy doors for these things all day long. I just can't find them for the B model. C model, yes. And looking at the C models, this has the gussets. The C models don't have the gusset. They just have a square door. So, yeah. And where I ran my auxiliary hydraulics is kind of in the way. And the other issue I have with a door on a skid steer is you have to have it all the way down to get out. And half the things I've got, you can't always get it all the way down to be able to open a door. But the nice thing is the door wouldn't be on there all year. To do it, what I want to do is I need a piece 26 inches wide by 40 inches tall, I believe. Because get a piece of Lexan and I can just make the hinges and bolt them to it. And all you got to do for the latch end is bore a hole through it, put a piece in. Or what I've seen some advertised as doing is they just have a hole that they take a bungee cord and the hook of the bungee cord goes through the hole and then you hook it back on the side screen. That works. I'm not sure I would be the one selling a product like that, but it works. Before I ever got this machine, this belonged to a rental outfit at Sandy, Oregon, and the only place it ever was up at Timberline Lodge for clearing snow. It had the whole cab kit. It had a heater, and the heater on these ran off of the muffler, had a pipe off the muffler and the heater set up there behind the seat. All the holes are there for it. Unfortunately, well, fortunately at the same time, family friend who had a big rental company, he bought them out, ended up with this machine, and that's who I bought it from. But when they replaced it with the new machine to go up to Timberline Lodge, all that came off of this one to go on it. And I would assume that it was probably a C model that went up there, so would it fit? I don't know. Anyway, I really haven't found. I can find 24-inch wide all day long. 24 by 36, 24 by 48. Find 36 by 48. I mean, I'm going to have to cut it, but I don't want to buy any more than I have to because the shit's expensive. Either 3/8 or half-inch Lexan. 3/8 would be enough. I even considered quarter. The back window is actually a piece of 1/4-inch plexiglass. It's been in there for way too long. It needs to get replaced too. And using this thing, I'm probably going to want to put sides in it too, but we will see. Just having one on the front, I think, will be a lot better than not having it at all. Shit, I got it dirty. I started right over there. Went between the trailer and the swath there, and then under the swath there, and along the fence to the other side of Ty. Weaseled my way back to the fence line back there. I found a 6x6. They're back there behind the rakes. That woke me up. And then I came back around. I came around the cultipacker here and hit over there. Totally thought I'd find a block in there somewhere, but I didn't. And
that's not fair.
Straight behind me is our little old ancient John Deere disc. You know, it's one that in order to pull it behind anything we own, we have to put a drop hitch on the tractor to get it.
Well, that's the one that I had on the Massey,
Yeah, that's the one you pull with the Massey a lot of times. It's ground level, and I would have missed the hitch, but it's right at blade level. The only time I noticed that giving any was when I was in the shop when I first started turning it over. Thing runs smooth as silk even after hitting things. I mean, it was rough there for a second after hitting stuff, but then it went back to being smooth as silk.
You almost need to put a rubber bumper on it.
She says I need a rubber bumper now. Oh my God.
You already scuffed the paint on it, dude.
I scuffed the paint. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to find something to put for better skids. We had some 3/8 really hard shit. I wonder what happened to that. I think we used it. Guy I was making something for, I need you to put this together, and there's a coyote running across straight back there.
That's the motherfucker.
Ty just saw him across the road from the house.
That's a fucking deer.
Oh no, it's a deer. I'm sorry. She's probably running from a coyote.
That's a fucking buck.
Okay, he's probably running from a coyote. The dogs see him. Now he's running back where he came from. But hey, you got to see a deer even though it wasn't a coyote. He's confused.
Dude, what the fuck is going on with you?
I'm confused too. Maybe the heifers just went back there.
No, the heifers are all over here.
Okay. Says the heifers are by the pump site. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on.
No, that fucking Yodi. It was like a goddamn Great Pyrenees on fucking steroids.
There was a coyote that was out here. I haven't seen him for a couple of years. And Ty called him Ghost because literally you'd see him. You could see him right out in the open and turn around and pick up a rifle and turn back around. He's nowhere to be seen.
You'd have the rifle in your hand. You could go to point.
Have it in your hand and go to aim, and he's nowhere. And he's huge. And she said the one she saw across the road is as big or bigger. So anyway,
About 100 pounds.
with that, I think I'm going to say there's the steers. She already fed and then they came out to visit. The cows are back there now. They've been underneath the cedar tree up there all day till about 10 minutes ago, and then they wandered out to the front of that pasture, and now they're all back to the back of it.
No, there's a cow.
Yeah, I know. I see one. They're working their way back there. And Ty says she's going to tackle that tomorrow if she's feeling up to it. Hopefully. It needs it.
Well, the great thing is,
Then figure out where to put it.
I could sleep on the couch because I have close different really
So.
wipes.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. Going to say this was a good buy at the moment. I did get in some blackberries and, of course, the wild carrot, Queen Anne's lace, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that stuff's tough cutting too. It definitely need me a piece of plexiglass on the front and probably put some on the sides too. That's what I'm thinking. Not plexiglass, Lexan. Lexan's better. Also, for a piece to do this door, about $100. But, oh well. Hope you all had a great Sunday. Hope everybody has a great Monday, and we'll see how far we get tomorrow. Oh yeah, something else I got to do before Tuesday. That Far Creek feeder over there, guy's coming from Washington to pick that up. He was going to be here tomorrow, but he can't make it tomorrow, so it's supposed to be Tuesday.
That's part of tomorrow's deal is getting that out.
So, one more thing to do. I think I got to move the excavator too, and I still haven't fixed the radiator hose on that. So, start it up, move it, shut it off, go from there. Worst thing is the Closer Creek feeder. That one. The bottom rails work clear off of that, so that has to actually get lifted to move it. The other one I can drag.